how do you think it's helped with your mental health? Do you think that it's only when you're in the show, or do you think that the entire process helps? Or, and what do you think that is? Is it a sense of purpose that you get from it, or a sense of belonging?
I think it's, yeah, maybe it's a sense of, I think it's a sense of identity and feeling like, I don't know, I never want to pretend to be somebody I'm not. I never want to like feel like I'm surrounded by people who I have to do that, or people who make me feel like I'm not good enough in who I am. And the thing about playing music and the music scene in Kamloops is pretty great. Like the people, and I got to meet and work with a lot of really talented people. And yeah, I mean, it is a sense of belonging, but in a way that is so genuinely true to who I am, which is what makes it so special, because it's not like I have to try. It's almost like freeing because I've finally found it. Like I said, like growing up I didn't feel like that. Like I never felt like I was like part of anything that at the time would have been considered special. You know, like in high school, it was like to be like a girl in high school was like you got to play volleyball to be like a hot girl. You know, like it was like all these pressures, or you had to play basketball or something, or soccer, or like be in band or like gymnastics. Like, it was like something in order to feel good. I remember always being like, why can't I just do it? Like, why can't I remember Talia and I tried out for the volleyball team in like maybe grade 10, and like we didn't even make the B team. Like we were just like so bad, and like, but it was me trying to be someone I wasn't, because I felt like that's what I had to be. But like I always knew I loved music, but it was a pretty quiet part of who I was. It still is a pretty quiet part of myself. Like I don't shove it down people's throats. Like it's not like I'm trying to be like, look at me, this music girl. She's just hipster who like, it's genuinely just part of who I am, and it's an intimate part. And if people want to know about it, I love to talk about it. But like I don't want to like be aggressively in people's faces about it, because that's not why I love it, you know. And I think that's what makes it so special, is because it's just raw and it's real, and I don't do it for attention. I mean, if I did it for attention, I would still be doing it. Like people would come up to me and be like, you guys got to play more shows. Like you got to tour. And I'd be like, maybe. And we would take these ridiculous breaks. Like we'd play one show and like 6 months would go by and we'd like play another. Like it was very sporadic, but it was just like, you know, we did it because of how it feels. And, you know, it wasn't about, you know, selling things or writing a full album. It was just like, just pure enjoyment. And yeah, very special.
Do you think that that experience of finding identity in that allowed you to be authentic outside of music? Because as you said, now you don't play as much, but you feel as though you're like, it's not your identity as it is just being a music girl, but now
Mm-hmm.
it seems as though you're far more comfortable with who you are and just being yourself.
Oh, absolutely. I think, yeah, like realizing that, yeah, and like same thing with finding social work and being somebody who I'm really trying to, you know, channel the energy of being unapologetically who I am, and not in a way that is aggressive or like, you know, people can't, I don't know. I think like, it's good to have a balance of being like, you're open to connecting with people who are different than you and have different ideas than you, but being certain in who you are and genuinely loving that. It's not always easy. And I think I finding my identity in playing music and realizing that it was very authentic and real. And I think part of me has found that identity in social work as well, which is maybe why it's gone, like music has gone a bit on the back burner. But it's really special. And I think people will hide from parts of themselves because maybe it's not, like I said, not considered cool, or like what you should be doing, or the aesthetic you want to fit your life into. But I don't know. I have met so many incredible people. I've connected with so many people over music. I mean, you and I, like some of the most like special moments revolved around music and songs. And I think that that's something that, I don't know, like I would never want to fake it. I would never want to be doing something that didn't feel completely true. I couldn't. It
Mm.
just like wouldn't feel right. And I would just be a sad person, you know? And I get that it's hard for people to find that thing. I know lots of people who still sort of struggle to know what their place is in life, and you know, but finding those little things that just like sometimes are really quiet parts of yourself that you just are like, this is something I love so much, and will take every opportunity. Like I'll take every opportunity I can to have my headphones in, listening to music, or finding music, sharing music with people. Like, you know, it's I can't really remember what your question was. I feel like I went off on a tangent, but it was, yeah.
I, I'd asked about identity and the overflow of authenticity that you started to incorporate into your life outside of music.
Yeah, definitely. I would
But I
say as
felt that was
also
a good
just
answer.
maturing. Yeah, just maturing in general has made a big, like, it's funny, like I look back on my life 6 months ago and my mom, who's gonna be watching this, I
Hi,
remember
Siobhan.
like, yeah, um, she would always say to me when I was younger, when I would be like fighting with her about something, being like, I want to do this, or like, let me do this. She'd be like, just trust my judgment right now, Hannah. Like, like in 6 months, in a year, you're gonna look back on this time and you're gonna think, wow, I was such a kid. What was I thinking? And it happens so rapidly right now. Like I feel like I look back on myself 6 months ago and I'm like, holy fuck, like why did I think that was the right decision? Or like why did I think that mattered so much? And like I feel like I'm maturing personally very rapidly right now and like things change so quickly. And I think holding on to the things as identities change that make you feel like who you are is really important. And yeah, music is that undying part of me that through all the phases of life, through all the different maturing stages, like it's always there. And I think it's just, I love just being who I am. And like, I love posting thirst traps on Instagram and being celebrating, feeling confident and like being like, I don't, because for so long, it's like, you put yourself into these little boxes or you try and fit into these little boxes. And it's like, why can't you just, enjoy who you are and celebrate it and not let other people make you feel weird or observed or like, I don't know. I'm really trying to like embody it so it becomes a true thing. And I think that that's a huge part of what this summer is for me. Is just like practicing that, and that's why I was excited to talk to you about this because I think making these connections and verbalizing them, I'm like thinking right now, I'm like, oh, what other ways? Like these, yeah, it's good to think about this kind of stuff.